Picture this. World War II has just ended. The world is in shambles. And amidst this chaos, the seeds of a new conflict are being sown in the Middle East. In the aftermath of the Holocaust, a horrific event that saw 6 million Jews systematically murdered by the Nazis, the global community was confronted with an urgent Jewish refugee crisis. This tragedy fueled the Zionist movement, a political ideology advocating for a Jewish homeland in Palestine, a place of historical and religious significance to Jews worldwide. In 1947, the United Nations proposed a partition plan to divide Palestine into separate Jewish and Arab states, with Jerusalem under international control. This plan was accepted by the Jewish Agency for Palestine, but was categorically rejected by Arab nations and Palestinian leaders. This rejection led to the outbreak of the 1948 Arab-Israeli War, a bloody conflict involving Israel and 5 Arab nations. The war resulted in an Israeli victory and the establishment of the State of Israel in the heart of the Middle East. But victory came with a human cost. Hundreds of thousands of Palestinians were displaced from their homes, laying the groundwork for a refugee crisis that still resonates today. This displacement, known as the Nakba or catastrophe in Arabic, is a core issue in the ongoing conflict. The 1948 war did not just redraw the map. It marked the beginning of a protracted struggle for land, identity and recognition, a struggle that came to be known as the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. This conflict, born from the ashes of World War II, continues to shape the geopolitical landscape of the Middle East and beyond. And so, with the establishment of Israel and the displacement of Palestinians, we see the genesis of the Israel-Palestine conflict. This war marked the beginning of a protracted struggle for land and identity known as the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. As the dust settled after the 1948 war, it became clear that this conflict was far from over. A new chapter unfolded in 1967 with the Six-Day War. In an astonishing show of force, Israel expanded its territories, capturing the Sinai Peninsula, the West Bank, Gaza Strip, East Jerusalem, and the Golan Heights. This swift victory intensified the struggle over land and identity, deepening the divide between Israel and its Arab neighbors. The Yom Kippur War followed in 1973, named after the holiest day in Judaism, when Egypt and Syria launched a surprise attack on Israel. The war ended with a ceasefire, but it was a stark reminder of the fragility of the region's peace. The late 70s brought a glimmer of hope with the Camp David Accords in 1978, brokered by US President Jimmy Carter. For the first time, an Arab nation, Egypt, recognized Israel's right to exist. In exchange, Israel returned the Sinai Peninsula to Egypt. This groundbreaking peace treaty in 1979 was a significant milestone, but did little to alleviate the broader Israel-Palestine conflict. The tension escalated into 2 major Palestinian uprisings, known as the First and Second Intifadas. The First Intifada, beginning in 1987, was a largely civilian uprising against Israeli occupation. The Second Intifada, starting in 2000, was more violent and left a deep scar on both sides, further complicating peace efforts. Despite attempts at peace, the path to resolution remained elusive. The 90s brought a glimmer of hope in the form of the Oslo Accords. As we delve into this period of history, it's crucial to remember that the road to peace is often rocky and filled with detours. In the early 90s, secret negotiations between Israel and Palestine led to the signing of the Oslo Accords. This historic agreement, inked in 1993 and 1995, was intended to be a significant step towards resolving the long-standing conflict. It was a moment of optimism, a moment where peace seemed within reach. However, the optimism was short-lived. The assassination of Israeli Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin in 1995 sent shockwaves through the region and the world. A champion of the peace process, Rabin's death was a severe blow to the Oslo Accords' momentum. His departure from the political landscape left a void that proved challenging to fill. In the wake of this tragedy, the peace process stumbled onwards. The year 2000 saw the Camp David Summit, a high-stakes meeting between Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak and Palestinian leader Yasser Arafat. The hope was to breathe new life into the Oslo Accords and finally bring the conflict to an end. However, the summit failed to deliver a resolution. Distrust and disagreement over key issues, such as the status of Jerusalem and the right of return for Palestinian refugees, proved insurmountable. The failure of the Camp David summit marked the beginning of the end for the Oslo Accords. The promise of the Oslo Accords remained unfulfilled as violence continued to mar the region. This period in history serves as a stark reminder that the road to peace is long and fraught with obstacles. It's a road that we are still navigating today as the search for a lasting resolution continues. The new millennium has seen a continuation of the deadlock with no end in sight. As we journeyed into the 21st century, the Israel-Palestine conflict continued to be a complex and volatile issue. In 2005, we saw Israel take a significant step with the disengagement from Gaza. This move was seen by some as a hopeful sign, a possible path towards peace. However, it also opened the door to new challenges. The following year, in 2006, the political landscape shifted dramatically with the election of Hamas. This marked a turning point in the conflict, leading to a series of subsequent clashes that further deepened the divide. In a bid to foster international recognition, Palestine made a significant move in 2012 when it was recognized as a non-member observer state by the United Nations. This marked a symbolic victory for Palestine, affirming its sovereignty on the global stage, albeit without full member status. However, this century has not been without its share of escalations. Recent years have seen a resurgence of violence, with both sides suffering losses and enduring trauma. Amidst the turmoil, there have been numerous attempts at peace, but these have often been met with disappointment and frustration. Various international players have stepped in, proposing solutions and mediating talks. But these efforts have often been met with skepticism and resistance from both sides. The complexity of the issue, coupled with the deeply rooted historical narratives and aspirations, make it a challenging task to find a resolution that satisfies all parties involved. As we stand in 2023, the conflict remains unresolved, with both sides holding on to their narratives and aspirations. The Israel-Palestine standoff continues to be a defining issue of our time, a testament to the challenges of reconciling historical grievances, political ambitions, and the pursuit of peace. Over the past 75 years, the Israel-Palestine conflict has been a complex web of history, religion, and politics. We have journeyed from the genesis of this conflict, rooted in the aftermath of World War II, through decades of war, attempts at peace, and the standoffs of the 21st century. We've seen the birth of Israel, a nation carved out from the ashes of the Holocaust, pitted against neighboring Arab countries. We've witnessed the rise and fall of peace accords such as the Oslo Accords, which, despite their promising beginnings, led to a road to nowhere. We've explored the 21st century standoff that continues to this day, a testament to the deep-seated issues that have yet to be resolved. In this landscape, Israel stands as a nation often feeling isolated, surrounded by countries that question its right to exist. But amidst these geopolitical complexities, let's not forget the human cost of this conflict. The innocent lives lost, the homes destroyed, and the dreams shattered on both sides. The conflict has taken a toll not just on the land, but on generations of people who have known nothing but strife. The ongoing search for peace is fraught with challenges. The polarizing politics, the religious sensitivities, and the historical wounds make it a daunting task. Yet, the pursuit continues. Efforts like the Palestine Cinema Days Festival and Jordan's move to promote inclusivity between Christianity and Islam are small yet significant steps in this direction. The Israel-Palestine conflict is not just about borders or territories. It's about people, their identities, their faiths, and their hopes for a peaceful future. It's a tale of resilience, of a people's struggle to coexist amidst differences that have been magnified by history. As history continues to unfold, we watch, hope, and wait for a day when peace will finally dawn on this troubled land.